everybody? Welcome to Big E's Auto. I'm Big E. Wow. And apparently I'm having a bad hair day. Holy crap. Anyway, enough about that. Cheers, everybody. Nope. I hate to disappoint, but everybody who enjoys that, not today. We're drinking some foo-foo hazelnut coffee. Normally I just like regular coffee, but it's some foo-foo hazelnut thing. Not my style, but it's the only thing in the house, so I gotta drink it. Alright, enough about that crap. So, a lot of C4 stuff going on in the channel as of late. Today is something different. Today, saw my boy, Tom Goldman, at his shop. He was doing the work on the fuel rail, because we're working back on the turd. Ta-da! So, Eric, why are you showing me the fuel rail? Because if you run LT1 stuff, this is Corvette guys, Camaro guys, swap guys, anybody's running LT1, or any fuel rail for that matter, this is what the deal is. Okay? So basically what we did, or what Tom did, was cut the back off, remove the stock, he welded this in, okay? And then he put the AN fittings on. Now this is only one of the first steps here, but I'm bringing you guys up to snuff what's going on. So basically now we just have a fuel rail, the stock cross piece, and some AN line on it, okay? So basically all I'm going to do today, I'm going to try and show you, is we're going to put it on the motor, the fuel rail, we're going to bolt it in place, okay? And then we're just going to run the lines over to the fender well, because the plan is that's where we are going to mount the regulator. Now, something else I learned at Tom's shop, which was I had a hard time wrapping my head around, because it's opposite of carburetor. Not saying I never worked with fuel injection, I have most of my life. It's carburetor that I'm fairly new to. But something interesting is that the fuel regulator on fuel injection is put on the return side. I always thought it was put on the supply side. It's on the return side. Kind of interesting with that. Where with carburetor, your regulator is put on the supply side. Kind of interesting fun fact, if you will. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff together, and some tools and other stuff, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can bolt the fuel rail on, and we're going to go from there. Alright guys, so here we are with the top of the motor. So first thing we want to do is your O-rings here at the top of your fuel injectors. You don't want to have, you don't want to push them in anything, a fuel rail or a connector. You don't want that dry. A, it's going to go harder and it's not going to fully seat. And B, you risk your chance of damaging your O-ring and causing a leak. Especially since this is the fuel system, we want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So first thing we want to do, you can use, I was told you can use, when I had shop class, I was taught you can either use transmission fluid or Vaseline. I just like Vaseline. It's thicker and it'll stay in place. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put some on there. Make sure we get all of them. I know it's off camera right now, but the same thing, just want to make sure we get a nice coat of Vaseline on them, or I should say lubricant, whatever you choose to use. Oh brother, starting to rhyme, God help us. But yeah, you want to put a nice film of a lubricant on those O-rings. Another thing I learned too today was that there's specific O-rings for fuel injectors. I didn't realize that. What did he say? They were either going to be brown or green or acceptable colors for the O-rings for fuel injectors. I don't know how true that is since these are all brown. I'm assuming there's some truth to that, but I'm just throwing it out there. So anyway, so we got those lubricated. So now we're going to come in here with our fuel rail. Okay, and try and get that a little bit in place. Now go around and come in from the side here, and you want to look to make sure everything is lined up for the when you tighten them down, that you're not going to damage something. And unfortunately, guys might have to, it's the winter time, I have a whole bunch of other stuff in the way with the trailer that I have to work around, but I'm going to try and see what happens if this can. And in some cases you can actually push down. I don't know if you heard that. You heard a snap noise when I pushed down on that. So that tells me that these fuel injectors are in. You heard that one, I'm sure. Okay? Now the next thing we want to do is we want to put, obviously we want to bolt it down. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and finger tight these, because there's probably you're gonna have to obviously move them around a little bit to get them to go. Okay. Now, for whatever reason, last time I was having trouble with the back one. Now, I don't know with this new setup if that's going to cure that problem or not, but we're going to see. So basically we're lining this up and we're going to see what we got going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off here. I'm going to get this bolted down. It's pretty cut and dry. You're going to need an 8mm socket to tighten these up. So grab a 8mm socket out of your tool chest and you can go ahead and lightly tighten these up. Alright guys, so we got our fuel rail tightened down here. So the next step will be putting your wires on, your fuel injector wiring. So just go ahead and make sure that these clips have a hard time. Make sure they're in the grooves. So that these grooves here, make sure everything's good with those, because you want to hear the click, because if not, you're gonna have a drivability issue. You could possibly have an injector that works. You could have an intermittent miss, intermittent backfire. All kinds of weird stuff can happen if those connectors aren't on completely, because you know when the engine's running, you're gonna have vibration and other stuff going on just from the engine running. But you can snap them on and try pulling back. Like this one here isn't working, so I'm gonna go ahead and check if there's anything that's making it so it doesn't. Alright, there, we're good now. So now the fuel rail is on, and I'm not going to do it today. We're going to have to figure out with the regulator, because now with it the way it is, the regulator is not going to be in the stock location. We are probably going to mount it somewhere here on the front side where the strut tower is here. Trying to see let me see if I can move you guys around so you can get a better look at where I'm pointing, because if I point it to you, you don't see it. It's off camera. You're going to be like, Eric, what the hell are you doing? So I'm going to show you here real quick. Anyway, I think like somewhere in here, let me see if I can get an aerial shot in this area here, because we have the hoses here. Okay, so we have to figure out where we're going to route the hoses. Oh, by the way, you can see, I don't know if you can see from where those lines come on there. So we're going to figure out here where in this general region we're going to mount the the regulator for this. So that's going to be not happening today because I have other things. I'm trying to mount the camera. Other things that I'm trying to get done today besides working on this. But I at least want to get the fuel rail on, get the fuel injectors in there, so that way I don't have the atmosphere drying out the O-rings. Now everything's all lubed with the Vaseline. It's on in the fuel rail. The connectors are on, so that way I don't have to worry about moisture getting on the connectors, causing corrosion and causing an issue possibly with the fuel deal. So anyway, the next step, like I said, is going to be wiring it, plumbing this into there, and then actually we're going to be redoing this factory fuel lines. We're going to be shortening them up a little bit, which is going to help so we don't have all this extra over in here where it loops around. That's more chance of heat and other stuff getting in there with racing and causing vapor lock and other crap. So we're going to try and delete some of that, shorten that out, and to make it better. So we're going to be doing a deal with that. Like I said, it wasn't all in one shot. Cheers. This is going to be a multi-step process, but I figure at least we have the fuel rail. It won't leak. Now we just have to reconfigure the fuel system and the pressure regulator setup, that A, we can plumb it, but B, they're still easy to work on to if you have to change the pressure. I think on these, on this port here, you can put a fuel pressure gauge. So I want to have that accessible, that I can put a fuel pressure gauge on it so I can monitor there goes the camera, other things as well. Anyway, I'm just going to hold this camera. So I'm going to end it here. I could go on and just bore you, but I'm hoping the next installment with the turd is going to be actually having a regulator on there, plumbing everything up, and I'm hoping we can fire the thing up then. So, hope it kind of learned something. If anything, maybe it was entertaining, but I try to put stuff out there that you can learn something. So, like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if this helped or not. Like I said, I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. It's just the way that that I've been shown in some other things. So, anyway, like and subscribe. Drop a comment. I think I already said that. I'm repeating myself. Oh boy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's Auto. Bye for now.